Hey kiddos. So tonight we're going to talk about, and we're going to look at this board right here. The way we have trucks set up is, this is the good setup right here. Whenever, this is the front of the board. Remember I said chins first, and then whenever you flip it over, you know, I mean, this is the graphics as you're a writer looking at it. And I could show you a little bit more about that as we go. But with the center of the board, you'll notice that the kingpins, this is the kingpin, are towards the center of the board. And whenever you're setting up, say you decide to get a new set of trucks, you're going to have the quick trucks to go with that. And I will, you know, supply as many quick trucks as you need for however many truck sets as you need. All right. But right now, we're setting up the Guy Mariano Thunder 148 hollow kingpin, hollow axle. These are the Cadillacs of everything. They are super, super light. So these are hollow kingpin and hollow axle, but these are so much lighter than a Tony Hawk's. So what we're going to do is we're going to make these accessible to strap onto the board. But first we need to put on the receiving end of your, just like we have right here on the Tony Hawk's, we need to strap all this up. And this is what it takes. And I believe I'm going to send you quite a few sets. Hardware package. One set. This is front and back. And this is another set, front and back. So, what you have to remember, just like here, the original setup, the kingpins go towards the center of the board. And you have your tool, which is right here, provided in your backpack. We're going to look at this versus this one right here. Okay, so we're going to rifle this off. We're going to set this one right here. Okay, if we turn this one over, you'll notice that the dovetail, what we're calling the dovetail, it goes from a shallow to a deep. It's a V right here. So we're going to turn this the same way. This one right here goes right here. We're going to drop this down in these little holes. All four of them. I'm going to take my palm, I'm going to hold it like this, flip it over. That way they're all poking out. All right. These ones right here, you see the nut with a black inner race? These are what's called nylock. There's a nylon. There's a nylon washer in between them. Okay. So the nylon is what keeps you from the nut backing off. And I'm just going to put my finger right there and spit them on. until it doesn't spin anymore, and then I'll use my tools. I'm going to come over here, do the same thing. And everything is fresh out of the bag. I just got these Guy Marianos in tonight, and boy, I tell you what, whoo, you're going to love them.
Fancy schmancy.
They are, and I have the perfect wheels to go along with them. And it's kind of like orchestrating a fine band of many people to play the same instrument. Okay, so these are on there. I have all 4 screws, all 4 nuts. What I do is I come over here and I grab my screwdriver. It could be any screwdriver with the number 2 Phillips. All right. So I have this tool and this tool, which is provided in your backpack. I hold the nut with my thumb and I rifle it down in there. And backwards. So don't get it super tight. Each one gets the proper amount of torque. Super easy to put on. The other end, which you don't have to worry about on the board, is already taken care of for you. That takes a little bit more tenderness, but these right out of the bag, super easy. I took all of the work out of your hands and I put it in my hands. But if you find a nice set of trucks like these that are going to make all the girls scream, by all means get them. I'll get you the know-how to put them on your board. So the cool thing about these is, and you'll notice whenever you go to the skate park, other people they need tools at the skate park to change their trucks. These, you don't need any tools, because once you set these up at home, you use the same tool that you used to put these nuts on. So one tool system, you're gonna take these off, set it aside. Remember that you've got, on the axle, you've got 2 split rings, or speed rings. These speed rings, we'll get into that as we go on. You take these off. I'm going to set these over here with the rest of them. And check this out. What do you think would be a good complement for this truck with these colors, other than a really nice sapphire cruising wheel? We're going to break into these. These are 65 millimeter, and that's the diameter around. We'll put that right there while I'm tearing into the rest of the package. And I'm going to set these down one by one. And these are beautiful. Just got these in the mail yesterday. Okay, so these are fresh out of the package. What you need to put these on the axle is some bearings. for them. You've got two different kinds of bearings right here, and they're all made by the same people. I love reds. I've done a lot of investigating on bearings. Reds are the way to go. And you'll see in your sticker package, there's a lot of bones stickers and there's a lot of red stickers. What we're going to choose here, because this is such a big wheel, is we're going to choose the extended bearing. I'm going to pull these out of here, and I'm going to show you how to use this tool. This is the tool that you use to put your bearings in. In a year and a half from now, take your bearings out. I'll show you how to use it.
To replace them.
Yeah, to replace your old ones. All right, so fresh out of the package, you've got 8 bearings for 4 wheels. You've got one inside, one outside. One inside, one outside. You keep on going, you have 8 bearings for 4 wheels. All right, so I'm going to take this. What you need to do is to put this in there, you'll see it deadheads right here. If you reach up here with your thumb, you press that button and it extracts these, you'll see it right here. It extracts these little balls.
Pins.
These little, well, they're balls. So this is the outside of the bearing, which is the black face that you see. You put it in there, you press this button, and it sinks down in, and it locks behind. All right, the way I do this is I put the wheel in the center of my palm, kind of like hold it close to my body, and you'll feel whenever it seats down in there. Big wheels are a little bit tighter than small wheels, but you'll hear a little click. And you spin it around and you keep doing that until it seats in. It takes a little bit of doing. You won't be doing this all the time, but you spin it, do a little spin, grab it until it doesn't click anymore. And that looks like it's seated. So you push the button, extract it, spin it over, grab the next one. Give it a little pull till it clicks. Do the same thing. Hold it in the center of your palm. Just kind of like hold your palms together. Push. Spin until you stop. And I'm going to show you the difference in between a big wheel like this and a small wheel like this. These ones, these are kind of like your trick wheels. They're so much easier to put together, but I need you to show you the heart because I wanted you to see the artwork whenever I put these wheels on this axle, on this truck, on this board. Amazing. I saw it in a dream and I had to get it. Okay, so that one's all set. This one, what you want to do is, if you can see it or not, let me get some light here. There's some writing right there. It says sidewalk surfer. Do you see that? And on the inside, it says nothing. So you put the inside one on like that. But let me tell you something. Before you just slap it on there, remember, these are called speed rings. One goes to the inside of the wheel. It gets slipped on there. And then you put the writing to the outside. And then you put another speed ring on. And the reason for these speed rings, and I think they're very important, is it saves the bearings. You could
What's that?
probably quadruple.
That's not your favorite.
Oh, this is your end nut right here. And we're going to go back to the toe. I'm just going to put this on finger tight right now. And I'm going to move. Watch this bearing spin. Those bearings are so smooth. It's still spinning. It's still spinning. And you can hear it. While I'm doing that, I'm going to set up for another. I'm going to set up for another right out of the package. You put it in there. It doesn't go any further. You press this top, and it has an inner race in there. Grab that. And you're just going to, you could press it against your leg if you want. But you're going to keep turning. And I want you to see, so that one's seated. Let me show you how much easier it is on a smaller wheel. All right. So let me go back a little bit. We lost the battery. The difference between rifling a bearing into a very mass piece of polyurethane, we'll call it polyurethane for this, is there's a lot of substance right here, you see, and you're just cramming a bearing into the middle of it. We'll set that aside. You saw how much difficult it was. We'll take something with less mass, and we'll do the same thing. So much easier, so don't get discouraged. You take the same application, you put it in the palm of your hand, and you cram it in there. You heard a click, you're done. That's easy. Put another one in the other side. There's always one inside bearing, one outside bearing. So with less mass of a wheel, these are made for tricks, and these are made for cruising. Okay? The back ones, also made for cruising. The bigger the wheel, the more the cruising. Okay, so that being said, I still need to put more bearings in the rest of this. So I'm going to use this same tool as an extractor. So you put that in there, you see that center button? It's pushed. Okay, because I showed you that, the difference between the two masses, what I need to do is extract, and you need to know this too, because whenever you change out old bearings and apply new bearings, you need to learn this. Okay, so this is how to extract bearings. So this goes in there and it won't go in any further. You need to press this button and push it down. Pull it up a little bit and then hold it in your palm again. And then you're gonna kind of like put a little pressure here, put a little pressure there on the perimeter of this. And pull it out just like that. That is locked in, and it's going to continue to be locked in until you press that button that's going to slide it out. That is a perfectly good bearing right now because I just got done pulling it out of the box. Same thing on the other side. Pull it out just a little bit. And you're going to do the same thing. You can hear it working. Pulling away from the plastic a little bit. Use these two fingers. Use these two fingers. So that looks like it just came out of the package, just like one of these. We're going to set those aside, extract the bearing, and put it in the other side of this one. Okay? So we already have one in here. And I also want to show you the difference between the blacks is what we have here. This is the blacks and the reds. They're all reds. They're all the red brand. And through YouTube and things like that, maybe you could venture off into learning your own thing. These said right here, with extended inner races. Okay, so these are called Bones Race, and they're fast. They're fast, and that's why we have them. The difference between these two, the black label and the red label, is these don't have the inner race. And there's a color thing. No, there's not. So the black, no matter what you have, the black goes to the outside of the wheel, not the clear. Okay? It's always the black, it's the color that goes to the outside of the wheel. All right. Let's hit this up. Put this on there. Oh, I almost forgot. You need your speed ring for the inside of the bearing. Put your wheel on. Logo on the outside. Outside speed ring. And I'm digging for it because they got big old fat fingers. You put that on there, and then your nut. Once you have your nuts finger tight, I think this is important. You take your tool and you put it on there, and you get it as tight as you think you can. You hear it cinching down? Spin it along the way. Okay, so this side right here, if you get it too tight, I want to show you what happens. Okay, I'm cinching this down too tight on purpose. You see how you just spin it and that stops right away? Back it off. A quarter turn at a time. Spin it again. That is perfect, because it just goes on and on and on and on. We're going to do this one the same way. We're going to... Do you see how that stops? Now, put it right on this white part right here where you can see it. You're tightening it up. You spin it, and it stops too soon. Back it off a quarter turn. And it goes, and it goes, and it goes, and it goes, and it goes. That's where you want it. Both of those, that's a perfect setup right there. And these are your Guy Mariano. And I love these trucks. They're sporty, fancy, sexy, and the girl behind you on the school bus is just going to say, I need to know this guy. Look at him go. Forever. All right, I'm gonna set up the back and we'll meet you back here at Papa Wears. All right, so I got the quick truck on there. 4 bolts, 4 screws. Keep in mind, whenever you put, always remember this, whenever you're changing out wheels, and I can see that you're gonna be changing out wheels again many times, or truck sets. This goes in there. I want you to understand, you see this right here? It's what's called a dovetail, okay? A lot of times, if you're not careful, you will put this on there like that. Always look at the end of it there. Whenever you're having problems, you see the difference? Do you have enough light? Let me add more light, because this is pretty important. Whenever you put your trucks on and off, you've got 7 sets of wheels, or 7 sets of trucks all set up. Whenever you put it on there, sometimes, you see that right there? See how that doesn't match up? If you pull it straight back, even that doesn't match up, okay? Whenever you get that perfect matchup right there, that's what it's supposed to be. That dovetail winds up where it's supposed to be. Now let me flip this over on my lap. Always remember, your trucks are never set. Whenever you put a new set of trucks in, they're never set until you see these things go in like that, and then you give it the extra pop. They pop out, both sides. So you should be able to see is what they call the, what do they call that? The eye in quick trucks. Okay, so let me do this again. Get down in here. You'll see these side things come in, and that is not fully set. That is not safe to ride down the road. You give it a little pop, they pop out, just like that. Both sides. You should be able to see both sides. That's very important. And I need to do this again. Zoom in there. Do you see how it's out? And then as you push, it'll come in. That's not safe to ride. But whenever you give it a push, it pops out again. Both sides. Okay, and then whenever you need to release, your hand is towards the center of the board. You come in here, you grab this, pop it out so it doesn't skip across the board, and then you're good to go. All of these things are very important. Let's put these other wheels on there. This is a sexy, sexy setup. All right, so I added more bearings. Sidewalk surfer. Oh, almost forgot. Speed ring. Speed rings are very important too. They save your bearings. One on the inside, wheel. One on the outside, nut. Okay, that is just finger tight right now. We're going to come to the other side. for the sake of doing this on a tabletop. Speed ring. This is the outside, the logo on the outside. Another speed ring. Nut. And I'm going to set an extra hardware with you only because it comes in a case. All right, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my tool. Yep, that's the right side right there. Whenever you tighten them up, you're going to tighten them up, spin it. What I like to do is lock them down. You hear that click? Spin it. You see how slow it stops? Back it up a quarter of a turn. Spin it again. It doesn't spin nearly long enough. Back it up a quarter of a turn. Back it up a quarter of a turn. You can both hear it and feel it. That's the proper setting right there. You don't want to put too much pressure on those bearings. And it keeps going and going and going. So we're going to take this one right here. We're going to cinch it down. This one here is still going. Okay, that's as tight as I can get it. What I'm going to do right here, spin it. It stops way too quick. Back it up a quarter of a turn. I still don't get enough out of it. Hear that wobble in there? That wobble? I'm going to tighten it down a little bit more. And then back it up. Gets everything all set. Back it up. Whoops. Tighten it down a little bit. Get that wobble out of there. You're not going to be doing this for a long time. There you go. Back it up just a little bit. I'm going to put this on my lap. Only because it's easier to do it on my lap than on a tabletop. Oops, sorry. That one there sounds crisp. This one right here sounds a little lazy. What I'm going to do is take this one off and see why it's lazy. Make sure I got all my speed rings and all my bearings in the same spot. I don't know what. Okay, got my speed ring on the inside. Hear that little click? That bearing was just a little bit off. And then what I'm doing is I'm pushing down on this and pushing out on the outside of this and just kind of like rocking it into position. These big wheels are a little bit of a problem. These little wheels, not so much of a problem. They shoot right in because there's less mass to push against. Okay, so I think I've got that. I've got my speed ring to the inside. My logo on the outside of the wheel gives direction. Another speed ring on the inside, which again saves your bearings. And This one right here. That's your axle. And we'll do it again. Multi-tool. Tighten it up. Sounds a lot better, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So it was just that inside bearing was just a little bit cattywampus. Look, it's still going, it's still going, it's still going. So there you go. You're set up right now with Guy Mariano's 148 hollow kingpin, hollow axle. These things are the cat's meow. I fell in love with them online, and now they're a part of your board. They look sexy. All you got to do is set in front of a pretty girl and have her notice you. All right, we're out. Welcome to, thanks for spending some time at Papa. Hey, kiddios. I just wanted to do a small film on the bag that everything comes in. Whenever I first got this, I just happened to, I was walking through a sports store and they had a hockey bag, and I was like looking at the hockey bag. I was like, hey, that's the perfect size. So let's just say you're coming home from school and you got this box on your front porch and you put your books down and you have your mom hold your beer and you're like, hey, I'm gonna open this. You know, it's kind of like, what do they call that? Jack in a Box. So it's like dun 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 dun. So, Mom, hold my beer. I made this box to fit the bag. Rifle it out like that. I could not squeeze one more extra thing into this. But the perfect thing is after you get all this stuff out of there, you've got your bag and the helmet. We'll set the helmet over there off to the side, and then the knee pads, all these things has notes inside of exactly what is in each box. And then I got a nice pair of sweats to protect your boards. I'm gonna need everything that I just stacked up on top there. All right, so we're gonna pull all this stuff out, have fun with it. But the bag is really the cool part, and I was checking this out. It comes with doodads. After you get all your presents out of the bag, I think the bag is like the best thing ever. So you take it, everything's out of there, you prop it up along the wall in your bedroom. Now, it's got these doodads. You bring this, you fold it down, and it's already in place. All right? You take this guy, and you clip it in over here. And that drops down in front. Almost like a shower curtain. You don't want to be caught naked amongst people. So, with these dividers right here, and I'm not going to take them out of the bag because they're already pre-sealed. But in these slots on the side, you could stack up your wrist pads and elbow pads and knee pads. In the middle one, you could take your helmet, put it right there, stack these knee pads, elbow pads, wrist pads off to the side, and this is the bag with all your tools in it. It goes in this shelf right here. And then this can clip up. And then your skateboards, they can sit off to the side right here. And then all this stuff right here, you've got recharging lights for your glow-in-the-dark project. And these, you know, I already pre-did this, so you didn't cut yourself. They're still harnessed in there for shipping, but really you just pull it up and pull it out. If you want to, these are already pre-charged because I plugged them in. If you want to plug them in at a later date, you just USB to all that. But all these extra wheels and things like that, you can have different avenues for them. All your extra wheels can go in there. You got a cup holder for your beers. And then zip it up. Whatever you want. The fact of the matter is, this can sit in your bedroom along the wall, and all this stuff can go in it. You got extra grip tape right here, your personalized grip tape. That can go down there. All your charging things, whenever they're out, they can go in here. Everything has a home. And that's crazy how I bumped into this bag, but I'm so glad I did. It's perfect for you. So
Holds all your gear.
it holds everything. Yeah. And then you could take your backpack right here whenever you get home from school, whether it has a board in it or not. So this is a skateboard backpack. You just throw your skateboard in there, in between the trucks, strap her down, and then you can rifle this baby right there. And there's your spot for your backpack. So, and then I figured you needed a team name. Well,
Pro skate team.
Anthony Walker. This is well past your birthday, but I really wanted to get it to you as soon as possible, and this is the best I could do. Hope you like it. We love you. Peace out.